Welcome back to the place where Hollywood whispers collide with Turkish stardom and the puzzle pieces finally snap into place. You are watching Secrets Behind the Stars, and we're thrilled to have you right here, right now. If the air has felt different these last 48 hours, you're not imagining it. The entertainment world has been buzzing with a story that centers on one powerhouse name and the romance that has defined an era. Elçin Sangu, with Barış Arduç right beside the epicenter of it all. This isn't just a pretty photo or a routine brand handshake. It feels like an axis tilt for her career, one that reshapes what comes next for both of them. Before we unpack the London hints, the Florar chess move, and the murmurs of a new base abroad, make sure you've subscribed to Secrets Behind the Stars. If long-form, deeply reported celebrity storytelling speaks to you, tapping the join button keeps our lights bright and our investigations sharp. Your support lets us continue delivering the narratives others won't connect. Now, let's pull back the curtain. The past 2 days were a storm. While papers speculated about ordinary negotiations, an announcement dropped that stole the breath of everyone watching: the monumental collaboration between Elçin Sangu and Florar. To see what this truly means, we must look past the surface of a glossy, brand face title. Florar is not just any beauty label. It's a 75-year institution, a name that migrated from Turkey onto the dressing tables of millions in more than 100 countries. A heritage giant undergoing a revival chose its muse, and that choice reveals everything. By choosing Elçin, Florar signaled alignment with audacity, sparkle, and a refined, modern femininity. She's spoken the language of color and care for years, subtly, consistently, joyfully. This isn't a stranger stepping into a script. It's a natural extension of an aesthetic she's embodied online and off. Sources tell us the deal runs far deeper than billboards and launch parties. We're hearing about products in development right now, lipstick tones tailored by Elçin herself, and a performance-ready skin line aiming to bottle that luminous, on-camera glow. This is not a sponsored smile. It's a synthesis of brand muscle and star power, engineered for a global stage. Now I have to ask the Secrets Behind the Stars family, is this the opening line of Elçin's global era, the kind of leap we see when Hollywood darlings become the face of international fashion houses? Drop your take in the comments, and remember, our members in the Join Circle get priority during live Q&As. While pundits dissected the business, fans did what fans do best: decode the unsaid. On December 4th. Circle that date. Elçin posted a selfie that sent the internet into a controlled panic. At first glance, nothing shouted for attention: a wool beret, a dark, weighty coat, eyes that looked past the lens like she'd already stepped into tomorrow. But then came the atmosphere. Behind her lay a cold wash of industrial gray, the kind of soft, silver light that never quite turns golden. Istanbul's warmth was missing. And under the image, she wrote 2 quiet words that thundered: new beginnings. That picture didn't feel like Turkey. The wind teasing loose strands of hair suggested a bitter chill, the kind that Istanbul won't feel for a little while yet. That single post launched 1,000 theories. Was she merely on a quick getaway? Was she scouting? Or did the move already happen? For years, Elçin has invested in her English, private tutoring, accent work, conversation drills, planting seeds that might be sprouting now, beneath northern skies. Our community here at Secrets Behind the Stars went frame by frame, inch by inch. The visual fingerprints pointed to 2 likely coordinates. First, the slightly wistful streets of Notting Hill in London, the muted building shades, the winter light that looks like it's humming rather than shining. But then came a rival theory: Manchester. That faint fog clinging to the air is pure Manchester mood, an industrial winter that writes its own poetry. Why Manchester? Because it's a creative hub humming with media and gritty artistry, a perfect cradle for a new chapter. Some eagle-eyed followers noticed that upload timing matched early morning in the UK, further lending credibility to the idea that she wasn't just visiting, she was waking up on British time. London or the North, one thing became undeniable: she was far from home, eyes fixed on a horizon just out of view. But why uproot it all? Why embrace the harsh English winter when Turkey's warmth waits patiently? That's where it gets thrilling. As new beginnings rippled across Instagram, we started hearing about what's been happening off-camera. Word is that for the last 2 months, Elçin and her team have been locked into high-level Zoom marathons with top-tier international casting agencies, the kind that shepherd genuine global careers. Rumor has it she signed NDAs with 2 major UK outfits. The chatter centers on a specific project, a limited series slated for a heavyweight streaming platform. Not a cameo, not a supporting arc, a lead role, a fierce, romantic narrative filmed entirely in Britain. The possible male lead? Whispers say a well-known European name is on the shortlist. The tentative schedule points to February or March 2026, which syncs suspiciously well with the quiet groundwork we're already seeing. One insider put it plainly. If this goes forward, she won't relocate forever, but she'll be required to live in England through a substantial preparation window. That, friends, explains new beginnings, not a departure from Turkey, but a widening of the map. And yet another twist complicates the tidy romance label. Observers noticed her training routine escalate. This isn't just Pilates and a jog, this is athletic discipline. A crew member from a previous set slipped a telling clue. She's been working with international trainers on conditioning and action choreography. Action? In a love story? That points toward a hybrid, perhaps a romantic thriller, maybe something espionage-laced. The thought of Elçin sprinting through London streets mid-stunt changes the picture entirely. It suggests a reinvention that fuses charm with danger, soft light with steel. We have to talk about the date. December 4th isn't just any day. For longtime fans, it rings with history. Tied to the fevered, much-discussed era that linked her name with Barry's Arctic, when their on-screen alchemy blurred into headlines and fueled 1,000 think pieces. Back then, the calendar belonged to speculation. By choosing that exact day to write New Beginnings, she's rewriting its meaning. She's redirecting what December 4th represents, from nostalgia and chatter to intention and forward motion. It's a declaration. The timeline that matters isn't the one people project onto her. It's the one she builds in real time. And here's the nuance that makes it richer. Barry's is part of that present, not a ghost from the past. The two have navigated public fantasy and private reality with care. Sources say he's already juggling dates to be in England during pre-production stretches, determined to be present without overshadowing a move that is clearly hers. Their strategy in their duet. He stands as partner, anchor, and occasionally, co-conspirator. Yet this chapter spotlights her ascent. For those asking whether the rumored male lead is Barry's, we're hearing the production wants a European headliner to balance the international draw. That doesn't rule out a cameo from him or a separate UK-based project aligning with his schedule. It merely underscores that the central thrust of this rumor is Elçin's headline moment, with Barry supporting the architecture of her leap. None of this would have the same resonance without the receipts of success. Her latest feature on Prime Video has held steady in the top 10 since it dropped. Nobody will hand you official data, but the cultural pulse is loud enough to read. Fans call it nostalgic, heartening, a return to form. In a season when a handful of platforms stumbled with bland year-end offerings, Elçin's film felt like a carefully crafted exception. That performance is the proof international producers need. She doesn't just act, she carries an audience across borders. In the arena of co-productions, that kind of bankability turns a maybe into a go. So what exactly are we witnessing? We're seeing a woman in her prime refuse the safety of stasis. The Florar alliance gives her a global microphone. The Prime Video momentum provides the data. The UK negotiations deliver the artistic gauntlet. It adds up to the boldest stretch of her career, and, by extension, a new balance in her life with Barry's. Two stars calibrating ambition and intimacy with rare finesse. Social media flirts with phrases like new beginning every day, tossed around after a haircut or a weekend trip. But for Elçin, in December 2025, those words feel like metamorphosis. She's emerging from the cocoon of local superstardom wearing armor designed for international stakes. The London fog, or Manchester mist, may soften the skyline, but her path looks more defined than ever. She's stepping out of the comfort of the known and into the electricity of risk. And Barış? He's close enough to catch the flight, far enough to let her run. That dynamic has always been their magic. Tell us what you think. Does Elçin's Sanga have the blend of grace and grit to captivate Europe? If the rumor about a European co-lead holds, who should stand opposite her? Name your dream casting in the comments. If today's deep dive hit the spot, tap like, send this to every Elçin and Barış fan in your group chat, and don't forget to subscribe to Secrets Behind the Stars. Hit the join button to fuel our investigations and keep these stories coming. Thank you for watching, and remember, whatever you're curious about in this glamorous maze, we'll hunt it down for you. Until next time.